Biogeochemical cycles are going to be processes by which organisms convert elements from one form to another, and typically that conversion is going to be between reduced and then also oxidized forms. We have a number of different cycles that microbes do participate in, and really that they play very important roles in. So if we talk about just a couple of those cycles, one of these cycles is going to be the carbon cycle. With the carbon cycle, we are continuously cycling carbon dioxide, which is called inorganic carbon, and organic carbon, which would be in the form of various molecules such as carbohydrates and proteins. The carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is going to be converted into organic carbon through the process of photosynthesis. This is something that plants can do, but it's also something that many microbes are able to do. So they will be taking the carbon dioxide and converting it into organic carbon, and this organic carbon is really going to be a food supply for a variety of other organisms. It is a food supply for animals, it is a food supply for different microbes, and when that food is broken down, just the process of breaking it down is cellular respiration, and cellular respiration, when it breaks it down, is going to contribute that CO2, that carbon dioxide, back up into the atmosphere. So we must continuously have organisms that are able to take the carbon dioxide and convert and cycle that back into an organic form, because we have a variety of organisms that are going to take those organic molecules and break them down through the process of cellular respiration. So that's one look at the carbon cycle. Here's another look, a more elaborate look at the carbon cycle. With the carbon cycle, we've got atmospheric carbon dioxide up here, and this atmospheric carbon dioxide is going to be generated by a variety of processes. We mentioned respiration, so that would be the breakdown of carbon molecules by organisms, but then it can also be produced through the process of combustion. So if we are breaking down molecules through combustion, different fossil fuels, that could result in that. We could also have the carbon dioxide produced through the decomposition process. And when we talk about microbes, fungi and bacteria, they do play a big role in decomposing different dead organisms. And so we're continuously, again, getting carbon dioxide given back to the atmosphere. And so we do have this carbon fixation process, which is essentially photosynthesis that is going to return it back to an organic form. This is accomplished by plants, algae, a variety of photosynthetic bacteria, and protozoa. Also, some chemoautotrophic bacteria are going to be able to fix the carbon, convert it back into an organic form. The nitrogen cycle is going to cycle nitrogen. The most abundant nitrogen that we have is in the atmosphere in the form of nitrogen gas, which is N2. That is relatively unavailable to organisms. So there have to be some organisms that are able to take that and they're able to fix the nitrogen. So take the atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into something like ammonia. So there are microbes, certain bacteria that can do that. Once it's converted into that, we can get it used by a variety of different organisms. Here's another look at the nitrogen cycle. Up at the top, we have our atmospheric nitrogen. So we said this is pretty unavailable to organisms, but it's very abundant. So we do have certain microbes, specifically the nitrogen-fixing bacteria. These are going to be able to capture that nitrogen gas and convert it into some type of usable form for other organisms. We can also have the conversion in association with plant roots. We can have the conversion right there in the soil so that ammonium is produced. And then we have some what we call nitrifying bacteria that are able to take the ammonium and convert it into other forms, such as nitrites and then also nitrates. And again, these are going to be very usable forms of the nitrogen that a variety of different organisms are going to be able to use. There are other cycles. We're not going to talk about them here, but microbes do help cycle sulfur, phosphorus, and various metal ions.